So we're also doing a giveaway today. So like, retweet the space, and leave a comment below. Engagement helps with that algorithm. So we'll randomly select a listener later to win a big old bag of C4. Let's see. I think we're up to a little over 8K right now. So looking pretty good there. Yeah, that's all coming up in a few minutes after Swamp News. All right, so like the big news around the swamp this week, couple of things. First one is land sales continue to go pretty fast. The only thing left are still the recreational plots, and the list is getting smaller each day. I don't even have an accurate updated number right now myself. But, I'm personally really looking forward to using those. I don't know about you guys, but I have some game ideas myself. I know a few folks to help get those going. And we're all going to have access to the Croc-approved developers who will accept C4 to build apps and stuff. So, I mean, both for myself and for the CCC ecosystem, I'm thrilled about lands. I think they're going to be great. I don't know if everybody knows about the rental aspect to recreational lands. I don't know if that's what's holding up the sales on those, but I don't know if you know, besides building on a plot or selling it, you can also rent it. But even if you don't rent the plot yourself, rented plots will share a portion of their rent with all the landholders of that type. So over the long term, you can earn passive income from recreational plots even without building on them yourself. And so really the more rec plots you hold, the larger your portion of that shared rental income would be. There's also going to be an auto setup option from the dashboard to make renting hassle free, so you're not going to have to keep seeking out people to rent your plots or whatever. It should automatically pair up with people who are looking to rent. So I certainly don't have all of the information about renting, and some of that is still being developed, so nobody has it, but we should be getting more info on that from Alex pretty soon. Also in the news, in case you missed the Discord announcement, Crocs has officially partnered with Smart Mints to provide minting services in the Swamplands ecosystem. So what does that mean? Well, for one, if you've been wanting to create your own NFT project but don't know how to code, you don't have to. You'll be able to launch your own project right from your lands with a verified smart contract minting tool with support all along the way. And all of the minting fees, the fees separate from the mint price, will be paid in C4. So that's one more utility for C4. The first project that will use Smart Mints is one that I'm actually interested in already, and that's Swamp Tanks. Their mint will use the C4 Player Pass protocol, and I think some of us were talking about that earlier. What that means is that 1% of the dividends that Tanks shares with its holders will go to pass holders. So let's say they give out some crazy amount in C4 for the month. Well, 1% of whatever they give out is going to be distributed among those C4 pass holders. So you can see why those passes still have a crazy floor price, right? Ultimately, this really means that landholders have even more support available to help grow the ecosystem. It's not just a place to host apps and games, it's a place to build the Web3 that we want to see. So I feel like Lands is a game changer for Web3 development, and I think it's going to be a fun new year. Let's see. We'll be doing the C4 giveaway in about 30 minutes or so. Yep, that's coming up a little bit. So, like I said, like, retweet the space, and comment below, and we'll be selecting a listener later to win. We are up to 8150 C4 right now. So the way that works is each week we're going to give away half the C4 in the Swamp Talk wallet and roll the other half over into the next week and do it again. So if you want to support the show, donate to the handle. You know how those work, $Swamp Talk. So 10% of the C4 donations and any ADA donated will go towards supporting the show. Otherwise, all of the C4 donated goes to sustaining the weekly giveaways. So donate any amount you want, and let's keep this thing going. And thank you in advance for your support. So we're not like sponsored or anything. It's just a Twitter space. But I like to talk a little bit about some other things that I like around the NFT space. And I mentioned it already. So this week I want to kind of promote Swamp Tanks some more. If you haven't seen swamptanks.com, I feel like you're missing out. It's a fully playable demo of the first NFT game that's going to be launching in the Swamplands ecosystem. I think it's a great demonstration of what can be done with them in the long run. The Swamp Tanks will feature NFT tanks and accessories that you build and battle and upgrade, and you'll use C4 tokens to do all of that. And you can actually earn more C4 as tanks are upgraded and items are used. And see, to me, the thing that that really play-to-earn games keep missing is making a game that's fun to play. And go try out that demo and see for yourself. I think Swamp Tanks is fun. I love it. And I'm not even a gamer at all. So, yeah, check out swamptanks.com. They're on Twitter, so you can follow them here on Twitter. And they have a spot in both the Crocs Discord and their own Discord. So you can find out more about how to mint your tank. Their mint is coming up on January 7th, and you'll be able to mint with C4 at a 15% discount over the public mint price. That's, not financial advice, of course, but if you want to mint yourself a tank. Well, today we're going to be talking with Psyadam, the original Croc Hype Commander, as well as the creator and host of the hit game show Croc or No Croc. If you have a question or comment, we'll open up the chat a little bit later, so get those ready. Psyadam, glad to have you on today.
Croc Hype.
Good to be here. Thank you. Sounds like you've had a full day today, so thank you especially for coming on.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, life happens.
It does indeed. So awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for being here. So to start off, I guess we'll start at the beginning. What got you started in crypto in general?
I got into crypto in 2020. It was after I'd gotten my most recent job, and it paid me enough that I was actually able to invest in anything. And I was trying to decide whether I should invest in cryptocurrency or the stock market. And at first I thought I was going to invest in the stock market, but then I kind of figured out that I couldn't really get the returns I wanted in the stock market. It seemed like I could only get 20% returns at the most. And I knew I could do much better than that crypto. So I decided to go the crypto route and invested in Bitcoin at first, and then I bought myself some Ethereum. And that went up, and that's when I first learned about Cardano. And ever since then, I've mostly just been interested in Cardano because it seems like it has a lot going for it.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like we kind of had a similar journey that started much the same way. So how about Crocs? How did you get started with Crocs then?
Well, I was watching YouTube videos about Cardano, and I kind of got an idea of which YouTubers were good and which ones weren't. One in particular was Sean Benson. I put him in the category. And then I just was watching him for about Cardano, and when all of a sudden he's talking about NFT collection or a project he was doing called Crocs or something. And I was like, oh, what is this? And I was like, well, I'd be interested in learning how to do NFTs. So at the time, they were making these Crocs for 60, 80 each. Well, it's probably safe to just buy 2 of these. If it, goes to 0, then whatever. And then it turned out that they have this roadmap that seemed kind of gimmicky. So it seemed a little bit too ambitious. I was like, how are they ever going to do all this roadmap? And then they started delivering. I'm like, what's this? And well, maybe there's some too. So then I ended up buying more Crocs, and then more Crocs. I just kept buying more Crocs. Addicted.
Yeah, I recognize that journey too. Yeah, that sounds a lot like mine. Got interested in Ada, found Sean Benson. He mentioned that this NFT project, found the Discord, really liked the community, and boy, here we are. Yeah, I think like everybody, I wish I'd minted my entire bag of Ada in Crocs, but some of us are a little less.
Yeah, I wish I had too, but not everybody can foresight, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if I've met anybody in the chat yet who was like, no, I'm pretty good. I don't think I would have minted anymore. Maybe I'm wrong about that. So you've been around with Crocs since basically the beginning. So then, how about Croc or no Croc? How did that really develop into what it is today?
Well, I kind of became a fan of Deal or No Deal. Before I got my current job, I was in kind of a bad place. I was living where I live now, but I was living with my husband and 2 other roommates. And my husband was out in the living room, and it was just like cordoned off with a blanket, but we had our TV in there. And I had just lost my job, and things were kind of shitty, but we had our TV there, and they had Peacock. We had just gotten Peacock service, and I looked in Peacock. I was like, what can I watch here? And they actually had like a whole series of past Deal or No Deal shows that I could watch. And so I kind of enjoyed watching these Deal or No Deals because it got my mind off of my situation. And then after I fast forward to after I got into Crocs, I came up with the idea pretty quickly after I got involved with Crocs. I was like, wouldn't it be cool if we had, instead of like money in each of these cases, if we put like Crocs in each of these cases, and I could say Croc or no Croc. And I thought it was a real good idea. At first, I wasn't able to convince anybody that was a good idea, but eventually I did find one person, Professor Briggles, that was actually real interested in the idea, and he helped me. He basically did all the work behind the scenes to make it a reality.
Yeah, he was great. Really pushing that, and getting that, talking about it to the team and the mods, and helping get that going. It's nice to have a champion when you're trying to get something going like that. So you coded the website yourself, then, that you use, right?
I think.
Adam,
Sorry.
you're good.
Sorry, yeah, my mic was double muted there. My apologies. So Prof was he was pretty instrumental in help pushing that to the team and getting that going. Yeah, it was. I remember when that was first getting developed, because you coded the website that you use yourself, right?
Yeah, I actually went to school to become a coder. I found it very difficult to get a job as a coder, and I did once actually do coding for like 3 months in a position. It was extremely stressful, and then I got fired. And I said, "Yeah, maybe I don't want to do this."
Well, do you have a? So we've had a few episodes now. Do you have a favorite episode so far?
Uh, could you repeat the question?
Well, I know we've had a few episodes. I mean, I guess Joey's kind of hogged the spotlight, but do you have a favorite episode so far?
Um, is Joey the one that had the yeah, Joey's the one that had the kid, right?
Yes, Marley, the MVP of Croc or No Croc, I think.
I think Joey's episodes, at least the first one, was my favorite. I don't know about the second one. It ended kind of quickly, and I was kind of disappointed with that one because I thought the banker was a little bit too generous with an early offer.
Sure. So what?
And that one ended quickly because they offered him a OG Croc, and he was like, you know what, Croc.
Yeah.
And we were all kind of like, oh, okay, what do we do now? The show is over.
So yeah, I guess that's kind of a tough needle to thread there. Making for an entertaining episode that people want to tune into and listen, but at the same time not okay. I guess we're done now. That took 5 minutes. What do you guys want to do now? So what do you feel like? What do you feel like makes for a good episode? Like, what are the elements of a really good episode?
Well, I mean, if you look at Howie Mandel, I watched some of his episodes to prepare as a host of Croc or No Croc, and he does a real good job of keeping things entertaining. He's very dramatic, and if you watch the Croc or No Croc, or if you watch the Deal or No More Deal episodes, they often have contestants that are also entertaining, maybe a little eccentric. And, you know, that they have crazy gimmicks about, like, okay, what's your biggest fear? On one episode, it was heights, and they brought the contestant up in the air, and it was just crazy. But I'm not sure if we can do that kind of gimmicks with Croc or No Croc, but it'd be something to think about.
That'd be fun. Yeah, down the road. That banker can be mean. Has anybody not gotten the joke and been actually offended by the ribbing from the banker or anything?
On Deal or No Deal, or Croc or No Croc?
On Croc or No Croc, I guess.
No, the banker's actually, our banker's not as nasty as I would like him to be. I need to talk to him about being a little nastier.
Trying to keep it kind of family friendly, I guess, or.
Oh, okay. Well, I want him to be nastier, but I can understand that maybe you gotta tone it down too.
Well, hey, he doesn't want to see that SE baby go, or that Clay go. Oh, we want to keep those big prizes. Hang on.
Yeah, you gotta strike a balance because you can't be too nasty. Because, like you said, try to keep it family friendly for the younger Crocs.
So, what's your future vision for Croc or No Croc? What do you see coming down the road for it?
Well, first I want to dispel any fears that Croc or No Croc is going away anytime soon. This is my show, and I plan on doing it well into the future. Even if the show doesn't change from its current form, I like it just the way it is, but that's not what we're planning. We're planning on having what's going to be called Croc or No Croc 2.0. And all I can say about Croc or No Croc 2.0 is that it's going to be very exciting. We're going to revamp the website with some professional web developers from the Croc team. I confirmed with Alex that this is coming. Professor Briggles said, yes, it's definitely, Croc or No Croc 2.0 is definitely coming. As for what kind of innovations will be in Croc or No Croc 2.0, as I said, there's going to be a makeover. Hopefully we can have some better prizes. Personally, I would like to see it more Crocs rather than C4 or other NFTs. But I'm very thankful for all the work that the Croc team, especially Professor Briggles, has done behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I'm glad to hear that.
And if I could plug my upcoming show real quick.
Of course.
The next show will be on January 14th. We only have 30 entries last time I looked. And each entry is only 1,000 C4. So this is an excellent time to put in some entries and get a good chance to be on Croc or no Croc.
Hey, 1 second. Tart, can you mute yourself when you're not talking?
I thought
There's
I was.
like a really
Sorry, apologies.
no, it's fine. No, just like a continuous echo. I hear it even now from my own voice. Okay, continue. Sorry.
Okay. Sure.
It unmuted. Okay, ready to go.
Okay. So check out the Croc or No Croc channel in the Discord for the address in which to send the C4 to. The window in which to send C4 to be a contestant closes 2 days before the show starts, and that will be on, as I said, January 14th at 12:30 Pacific time. So the deadline for sending in your entries is going to be Thursday, January 12th.
All right.
Oh, one more thing.
Sure.
One more thing. This time around, the winner that gets chosen to be on Croc or No Croc will also get, this is the first time we're doing this, but they will also get a Goomlist whitelist. And just a little information on that. There's going to be this game called Goombles, which is a tower defense type game. And you need this Goomlist to NFT to be a part of that. And I don't know too much more about it other than that these Goom lists are highly sought after and they're pretty rare. So this is, and it's also being put out by a well-known influencer named Farmer Nash. So that's just extra if you happen to win for this time around.
So pretty much a guaranteed nice prize, even if you get the one C4 box, you're coming home with something nice, huh? That's a good one.
Yeah. Hopefully, no one will be going home with only one C4, but a lot of that is going to come down to greed. If you end up being too greedy, that's when you end up going with those low amounts.
Of course, of course. So all they have to do is send 1,000 C4 to the handle $Croc or No Croc, right? And they're entered to be drawn to be a contestant, correct?
Right. I believe that's true, but also if you want to make sure that you're sending it to the right address, I would check out the Croc or No Croc channel and find out what address to send it to, because I believe it's in the most recent post from Professor Briggles, which address to send it to.
Of course. Great. Thank you. Well, so switching gears a little bit, we've chatted a little bit in the Discord, and honestly, you're an interesting guy. That's kind of why I wanted to have you on, too. So I am fascinated by the fact, I don't know how many people know this, but I am fascinated by the fact that you've competed at the national level in Scrabble. How did you find yourself going from just playing at home to playing competitively? I'm curious about that.
Well, when I was first starting out and playing, I was actually more interested in chess at first. But my goal was to get to become like a international master or something like that. But as I got older, I kind of found out that I just wasn't good enough to ever hope to be that kind of level. So I realized I liked playing a game called Literati on Yahoo Games back then. That was maybe 20 years ago. plus or minus a few years. And what I liked to do back then was I actually liked to use an anagrammer that I programmed to cheat and just think of all these or get all these crazy words and just say, "Oh yeah, I knew that word." And I got to the highest like ratings you could get in literati on Yahoo Games.
Gotcha. So that's what got you into actually competing. So how?
Yeah,
So
but eventually I decided I wanted to take it up to the next level, and I read a book called Word Freak, which told me that actually there's Scrabble clubs all across the nation, and I found the Seattle Scrabble Club, which unfortunately doesn't exist anymore, but I still play in tournaments. And just to put people's mind at ease, after I made the transition from literati into Scrabble, I stopped cheating.
so yeah, like, I mean, what does a player need to do to get to the national level? I mean, how do you? Are there like tournaments the way chess is, or things like that? I'm not sure. I don't know anything about it.
Well, I would recommend, like, you don't have to necessarily be that great of a Scrabble player to go to nationals, because they have different divisions. It's kind of like chess, where you didn't necessarily have to have a really high rating to compete. But what I would recommend is like wherever you're at, see if there's a Scrabble club near you, or like even if you're in Seattle like I am, you just wouldn't be able to find one, but you can sometimes still find Scrabble tournaments at least to go to, and just contact the director and ask how you can get involved and how to prepare. If there's not a Scrabble club near you, that would be the most ideal. Is if there's a Scrabble club, you can go to that and talk to real people and play over the board in real games. But if there's not that, I would recommend going to this website called Woogles. It's WOOGLES.io. That is the premier Scrabble site that people go to. It's kind of like Lichess, where it's like all the top Scrabble players go to Woogles now. So if you really want to play with the best Scrabble players, go to Woogles.io, and it'll ask you whether you want to play CSW or NWL. If you're in the United States, you'll want to play NWL because that's the United States dictionary. And most of us here in the United States don't like to play with the British dictionary because they have crazy words like OO and EE that we don't think are words.
Got it. That's interesting. Yeah. Well, hey, we got the giveaway coming up in just a couple of minutes here, so I'm gonna ping you with one more question here. You can think about it for a second, I guess, if you want, while we're getting set up for the giveaway.
Sure.
And then we'll open it after the giveaway. We'll open it up to the community. So if anybody has any questions, comments, anything like that, get ready with those. So while I'm getting ready for the giveaway here, who gave you the best advice you ever got, and what was it?
That's a tough one. I gotta think about that one.
Yeah, that is, isn't it? In the meantime, here we're getting ready for the giveaway. So yeah, looks like we're doing 8150 C4, not bad. And then so that's half of what's in the Swamp Talk wallet. Thank you again for the donations. I really appreciate it. Can't really have a giveaway without it. And we're going to keep doing that every week. We'll do half of whatever is in the wallet there. So if you want to donate, that would be super appreciated. And who knows, you might get it back. All right, let's take a look here. Come on, laptop. Laptop is freezing on me. All right, come on. Do. Who's winning the C4 here? Looks like Saber. Ding, 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 ding. I'll get in touch with you once the space is done here. Don't worry about reaching out to me. I'll reach out to you. That way we don't have to worry about anybody scamming. So congratulations, Saber, on the 8100, 8150 C4. All right, Adam, what do you think? Should we open this up to the crowd?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, anybody comments, questions, concerns? What you got? I see Asung joined us.
Sorry, I'm like stuffing my face with dinner right now. But yeah, questions, comments, concerns? Not many. I mean, my concern is I can't play. uh, Otherwise I'll cry manipulation, right? Or rigged. No, it's cool. I mean, every week or every 2 weeks, someone new gets on, and it's cool to see them win stuff. Uh, and hopefully this is more streamlined when the swamp plans are out. But yeah, we'll have to see. Speaking of which, how often do you reorganize the prizes, Adam?
Right now we're reorganizing the prizes every week, and the Croc team does that behind the scenes, and they actually dictate to me what the prizes are, because I can't afford to be spending all this money on prizes, so the Croc team takes care of that for me.
Hey, what's up, guys? My question is, I see that you have, hold on, let me cough. All right, you have the Crocs, and then you have the mutation radio. Help me out here. You got the,
Yeah, we got the Crocs, we got the radioactives.
and then you got the baby.
Correct.
All right, so what's with the staking, what's the difference with, the OG, the radioactive, and the
Gotcha.
baby?
Okay, it's a good question. So the OGs were the first collection. They were minted in October of 2021. Those are made primarily just as like the staple, the project face, and that was kind of like the start of the CCC. Now, when we were approached March, like Q1 of 2022, the radioactives were minted in March, and one of the reasons why the radioactives were minted was because a lot of people were telling us they were just priced out of Crocs. So at the time, ADA was something like $2 to $3. OG Crocs had a floor anywhere from $60 to $300, depending on the time of day. And this was really expensive for new people to jump in. So we made radioactives as a way to kind of combat that, so you can still be part of the Croc community without having to own an OG. Now, as for your question of the staking, OG Crocs earn the most, dictated by rarity ranks on CNFT tools. The more rare Croc, the more it earns. And this table can be found in the Discord, or unless someone can pull it up right now. The radioactives, they earn half as much as their OG counterparts. For example, the top OGs earn 200 C4 per day. The top OGs earn 100 C4 per day. So they earn half as much, and that's more or less the structure for that. The OGs earn half as much as the RAs. Sorry, the OGs earn twice as much as their radioactives. Now, baby Crocs don't earn anything on their own. Baby Crocs are created by a breeding game we had, and the way they function is they give you a percent multiplier boost. Let's just use 50% as an example. You have a Croc that gives you 100 C4 a day, and you also have a baby Croc where, based on the rank, it gives you a 50% boost, right? So those two together, the pair, will give you not 100, but 50% more, so 150. And this is done all automatically on the dashboard, where your highest baby percentage, your multipliers, pair off with your highest generators, OGs or RAs. And that's more or less the trio.
So the baby only matches 1-to-1
Correct.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you.
Yep. And something else to note is the number of babies is actually the smallest. It's 5,081. And what's interesting is these babies, the number of babies to be made was entirely up to the community. It was a breeding game. You didn't have to breed your croc. If everyone bred every single croc, that would have been like 8,000 something. But we have it today where it's like 5,000. So that's kind of where the supply comes from as well.
I like
All
to
right.
think
Thank
of
you. Appreciate it, you guys. I'm gonna jump back down as listener. Thanks.
yeah. Hey, thanks for coming up. Yeah, I like to think of the babies as they're just babies. They have to be with an adult at all times. They either got to be paired with an OG croc or an RA croc, and they're the one exception to the one NFT per living land plot when it comes to staking. Baby crocs will still multiply the croc that they're paired with, so they kind of have that little extra to them that way. Anyone else? Come on up.
So it's just to reset the room a little bit. This is Swamp Talk, episode 2. The purpose of Swamp Talk is twofold. One is to get to know your fellow crocs a bit better. We've all been here in the swamp. We've all been talking and having fun and everything the last like 14 months now. And sometimes you might not even have heard them at all, like how they talk, who they are. So the first part of it is just to get to know some of the croc members a bit more. But the second part of it is also just to get you as a listener more comfortable getting on stage if you want to. You're not forced to. If you want to come up, you have a simple question, just want to say hi. If you want to jump into Twitter Spaces, not this one per se, but generally, maybe you can come here and practice if you want, or just have a simple question, just anything along those lines. So if you're one of those people, just jump up and say hi. If not, you can continue listening, that's fine too.
Reza, thanks for coming up.
How you going, guys? Just a quick question. I missed the space, so I thought I'd just ask and save listening back. I was just wondering on the rollout of V2 and sort of when it's going to be mobile, and sort of like when's the platform ready for the games to drop as well?
All right, so I can answer that. The first part is V2 and mobile, right? So on Cardano, it's a little bit interesting on the tech side of things. What you see as a user on your desktop or your phone, for example, like JPEG Store, is the same website, same layout, same everything, right? But for whatever reason, on the back end, it's very, very different. What you see on the computer, on the PC, is a normal browser window, but what you see on the mobile is something specific called a DApp browser. That's the only way to access these things. So to I guess to say this in another way, your mobile Eternal, for example, wallet has a DApp connector or DApp associated with it, and it cannot talk to the DApp browser on a computer, but it can on your phone. And it can't talk to a normal browser on your phone, but it can on your computer, on your phone. So just to, I guess, where this is going is the TLDR coding and for wallet integration on mobile is very strange, to put simply, in Cardano. Now that being said, the workaround here is if anyone remembers the old dashboard where you had an email password login. You email password, you log in, and then you just connect your wallet by sending some ADA, right? And you can connect as many wallets as you want, or as many as allowed, and you can connect any type of wallet. It could be your Roy, it could be Nami, it could be Eternal, any of those formats are fine. The good thing about this format is it's a standard website on Web 2, not Web 3, and you can access this through mobile or also on PC. Now, what we're doing with Web 2, not Web 2, with V2 of poker, is we're actually backtracking to that original email password structure. You can have an option to log in with the DApp, like you have already, or you can also log in through email password thing. The reason being is people on mobile at this rate will not be able to do anything or even log into the Swamplands without having a dedicated DApp browser structure, which we can't create right now because it's only for select wallets and it's very specific to select interfaces or just select programs. So that's the first part. To integrate mobile, we have to go through the email password format, which is almost done, I believe. And we're also going to integrate poker into Swamplands, which is part of the dashboard. So all in all, the idea is that you can now play poker using the dashboard C4 even accumulating. Instead of having to draw and deposit and move everything around, the idea here is so once you log into the dashboard, you'll have some amount of C4, and you can use that C4 for whatever you want within the Swamplands ecosystem, including C4, including poker, including Croc or No Croc, and some other things that we'll be creating. So that's why it's taking a bit long. Originally, the idea was to roll out Poker V2 by itself, but as things are kind of moving along, it makes more sense to put it all together just under one umbrella. It also gives you a better experience as a user. The second part is when is it going to be ready? So technically speaking, tournaments and V2 has been ready since the middle of December. What we're waiting for is this integration between the dashboard, the poker, the wallet thing, and for all of it just come together before we really roll it out. Just so you guys have a better experience using it under one more final product than just piecemeals of little thing here, little thing there, and it's a bit complicated. Hope that answers the question, Riza.
Yeah, mate, too easy. And just another thing, just dropping on to what Droppin said. To me, the babies have got the most value if you have rare crocs. Like money-wise, if you're buying crocs or anything like that, if you don't have rare crocs, you're better off spending your money on another croc rather than a baby. But if you've got a rare croc, then you should buy the baby to maximise staking. That's the way I see it anyway. But that's all. Cheers, dudes.
Yep, thanks for coming up. Thanks for being in the swamp.
Cheers. Thanks, Trizza. All right. Hey, Akash, I see it. Come on up. Oh, looks like he's having connection issues there. Well, in the meantime, yeah, no, that's nice to hear about the lands. I love that everything's going to be integrated through the dashboard, without having to swap everything around and move stuff around. I know I've kind of turned into a little bit of a poker degen as a result of Crocs, and this will be great for my poker and bad for my wallet, I guess, or bad for my C4 stack. But yeah, lands.
I've just become an extension of everyone's wallets because my C4 just disappears. So that's my poker experience.
So I have a question, Asung. With the V2 of the poker game, does that mean that there will be tournaments again?
So that's the expectation. I just need to confirm that with Alex first before I give you a confirm yes. But the idea is to roll out the tournaments with everything else that I just mentioned. And this does a few things. For one, anyone who hasn't been playing on a platform before will find the layout much smoother, right? I mean, you're playing poker and then the last thing you need to do is, stop right now. You have to transfer some ADA or some C4 into your wallet, right? And it kind of kills the mood of things. So the idea here is that with the new standard, with the new structure, and V2 poker, which is tourneys, this will just kind of give a better experience overall. But yeah, I'm pretty sure with the new launch of at least of the poker, the next launch of poker, which is V2, it should have the tournaments as part of the dashboard.
And then is there going to be like promotional tournaments where it's like free to enter, and then like the top 5 players get to win a C4 or Croc like last time?
Yeah, so we are thinking about something like that. We're still trying to figure out or finalize the structure for tournaments in general. For example, do we want to have it so you need to pay like there's multiple ways to go about this, right? Like, so let's say a project wants to host a tournament. That's fine. Here's a few things to consider. For example, would the project need to pay X amount of C4 to host a tournament? Just one, and then they can give whatever they want as prizes. Or maybe there's no fee up front, but then they have to use C4 as the medium or the chips, which is what we've expected at the beginning. Or maybe tournaments are only limited to certain people or certain projects, depending on if they own a certain number of Crocs, for example. We're trying to figure all that out, just so it's a good balance between gatekeeping, but also giving some value to the platform itself. But that's going to dictate what you just asked me, basically, because based on where the C4 and where the, I guess, the costs come from, it'll be eventually trickled down to, for example, the pass holders.
Croc High.
Very Croc.
Always Croc Hut. I think Akesh disconnected. I don't see him anymore.
Anyone else like to come up? We still got some time left here, about 15 minutes or so. Otherwise, in the meantime, maybe I can ask you, Asung, where did I have? I had a note I was going to ask you at one point here. Oh, I think I deleted it. Well, dang it. That's not going to help us. Hey, there we go. Who's coming up? JMM, come on up.
What's going on, everyone? Justin, been in Crocs since the beginning, first mint. Been running around Cardano ever since. Good to hear some voices to the PFPs. So just wanted to come and say hi. Been trying to run into some spaces and contribute however I can and add value in Discord or anywhere else. Spread the good message of the Crocs. But some of my questions were around living lands, like rec lands, commercial lands, potentially the development of stores, games, dApps, all the different things. How are people going to be able to navigate, potentially thousands of different things that could be built in the years to come and find them in one place? I get they could be on a dashboard or a list, but how are we going to make it easy to be accessible and know what we're looking for and categorize and understand what everybody is building, versus, or are you going to have to market it your own way?
So that's a good question because I mean, if you have 3,000 rec lands, for example, that's 3,000 possibly different applications. No, sorry, that's commercial lands. The rec lands are even more. So the way I see it, I mean, I didn't see the swamplands myself just yet, at least the finished product, but I guess with the applications that are going to be on the swamplands, I'm not sure if they can label them or categorize them until they're fully actually built. For example, if they're being built and in the process versus if they're finalized and up and running, I'm not sure if you're able to see both or just the final products. That's something I have to get back to you on. Secondly, the idea for swamplands is just it's like a map, right? Where you can click, and if you click something, you can go to a certain thing. But you're right. If that's the only option and you don't want to look for a specific application or tool, that can be very cumbersome. I would imagine there's going to be some sort of search feature where you can search by name or hopefully even by categories if you're looking for certain particular. Like if you were to go to a mall, you have the directory, and there's food, and then you have clothing, and then you have entertainment. I would imagine something very similar to that, but I need to talk to Alex to confirm.
Okay, cool. No, that's all I got. I'm just enjoying listening in the background, trying to do some other things, but just wanted to say hello, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing for the project, and happy to be here.
Hey, thanks, Justin. Appreciate it. Love that Baby Croc PFP, by the way. Fantastic.
Right on.
I love that little guy. I remember what I was going to ask you, Asung. When it comes to like developing for the lands, I'm sure like me and some other folks that I've chatted with, you got ideas but don't really know what to do with them just yet. I know we're Alex has said we're going to have access to developers who will accept C4 for building things. So, been sketching up ideas and working on things, but it's a little hard to move forward. And there are plenty of people I know within Crocs who are. Yeah, I have zero technical skills. I couldn't code my way out of a paper bag, but there are plenty of people that I'm sure in our community who absolutely could create their own game or have their own app idea and are just ready to go with it, but don't know what to do. Any insights on what they should sort of be pointing towards or what they could do to keep moving forward?
Yeah, sure. So that's a good question because it's obviously not just you have the lands. The question is what's next, right? So there's a few ways to approach this. The first way that I see it is you can make a game yourself. I'm not saying you have to code this from scratch. I'm not saying the devs can do all of it for you. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. I don't know the exact middle ground, but the idea here is to have an idea of a game, and then if it's a simple enough game, I'm sure the devs can help you out. Like, if anyone remembers the Swamplands dashboard, there was a small mini game, right? You can click to open and close your croc's mouth, and you can eat the fish or whatever, and then you get a high score. And that's like a very simple game. But if it's a game along that nature, like along those lines, maybe the whole thing can be done for you. I don't know exactly what's gonna be can or can't be done, to be honest with you. Like how in depth they'll help you versus how much you have to do yourself. So games are the first, I guess, type of example where it's gonna be something you can build, right? If you like, for example, Tetris, or I don't know, just simple games that you might have played when you were younger and you just want to recreate on the dashboard. Just have an idea of how the rules work and what the general objective is. If you can give a clear enough roadmap, I mean, the devs might be able to just put something together for you for some amount of C4. Another thing is tools, right? It can be tools in the sense of like if you want to make your own staking platform, for example, which, I mean, I don't see why not. In terms of, I mean, I also don't know how complicated these APIs are, but tools for other projects maybe, or tools for helping other projects. For example, Cash Money made a floor price bot. I don't know, it's not really a bot, but it's just a website that has floor prices, right? What if you make that for other projects? Hey, go to the Swamplands. This is free. You don't have to cost anything, but it's an API that's running. Feel free to give me a tip if you're looking for whatever, something cool like this, right? That's another thing you can create, possibly. That's not a new idea, but something that other projects can use. Another, I guess, example would be just simple stores, right? Like the most direct answer is the most direct example here is gonna be like GIFs, right? I know a lot of people make GIFs. They're funny, they're cool, but what if you turn this into I wouldn't say a profession, but like a more like a business, right? You can, for example, pay 100 C4 and make a GIF. Just give me the pictures you want me to use, or give me an idea of what you want, and then I'll make it for you, right? You can just use like a Google Doc form, for example, just to get a list of customers. Or maybe if you're looking for something more specific, like a merch store, or like some sort of other store, like a brand, right? What if you make like hats, like caps in your IRL job, right? And you want to just make a few caps, just a few designs with the Croc design on it. Then you can set that up. And you can just buy C4 or use C4 to purchase it, USD C4, and then just expand your existing business that way. So, I mean, I'm just giving you examples because there's really no right answer here. It's just really just use your imagination in a way, and you can monetize something, you can make something for fun, you can kind of make something that helps people or potential to help people, and a lot of it's just really trial and error of what works and what doesn't work. So I don't know. I don't think that answers your question per se, but I did give you a few examples of like different directions this can go.
No, it's great. I love it. It's like a combination of Etsy and Fiverr and Facebook Marketplace, kind of all of that stuff rolled into one. I like it. Justin, you'd put your
Yeah, I
hand
mean
up. You want to come up again?
exactly. It's an app store, right?
Yeah.
The idea is to have a product or a service, and if you choose to do it for free or choose to take C4 for this, that's more or less the idea here. So, and that being said, if you pick, for example, if you set up a gift store, right, and you have a website and everything or whatever, there's nothing stopping you from setting up the store in like other I guess worlds or ecosystems, right? Let's just say, for example, the Ape Society releases the ability to create your own shops, right? You can create a gift store and have it in the swamplands and also in the city. And there's nothing stopping you from doing that. And as more and more of these projects come out and see what we do and see what other projects do and kind of try to, I mean, I wouldn't say copy it, but try to create their own ecosystems. The same people that are developing on one can always go to another and just to expand their own audience. So if you do have a good idea or you think it's a cool idea and you don't know how it's going to turn out, you can just brainstorm it, write down on paper, and then we can also just work with you. I don't know if you want to talk the whole Swampy idea, but like generally, like if you want to like run it by me or run it by like someone else in the team, like, and we can just give you some feedback on what it can turn out to be.
That's outstanding. Yeah, that'll be great. So if you had just like your own website for like right now, if you had your website for your band and you wanted to put it up on the lands just to be exposed to a wider audience, you could absolutely do that with your lands, right?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, again, I don't know exactly what the APIs and all these SDKs look like, but yeah, it's just quite frankly, it's another website almost, or it's another branch of Web2, which is like the internet we all know and love.
Huge. Justin, I'm sorry, you'd put your hand up. Do you want to come up again?
Yeah, so really quick. So this one's more ASUNG focused, recreational versus commercial lands. I'm still struggling a little bit on like what the exact differences is because I hear things like recreational lands are more for like games and things like this, but then I also hear you can accept payment on rec lands, but then you can also do it on commercial lands. So why would someone build on a commercial land versus a rec? And like what's the exact difference like in specs of the land and how much you can develop on rec versus commercial? And is there different as far as like what payments you're able to receive or like apps or payment processes you're able to put on rec versus commercial? Like that's where I struggle a little bit and like the differentiators and why I would want to be on commercial versus rec land. It seems like there's a lot of overlap. And how would that be clarified in the future? Because I'm a little unclear on it.
Yeah, and I agree. It took me quite a little bit to wrap my head around it as well. The easiest way to explain it is rec lands are where the application like sits, where it resides, right? Let's say you have a game. If you want to interact with C4, that's going to be pre-built in to rec lands. You don't need a commercial land if you want to use C4, right? But if you want to use USD or some sort of other payment options or something more extended, which it's easier just to see it when it comes out than it is to explain it, to put it bluntly. But the biggest thing is if you want payments in USDC4, if you want to be able to convert this or bridge it, the commercial lands are required, or at least you need to use one of the commercial lands that are existing, like one of our services. But as for like the actual building and the where the I guess program or the application resides, that'll all be on the rec lands.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. I think it would be extremely helpful, especially for, projects or people in the space that are not, as familiar with Crocs and the lands and everything else from a learning perspective to like somehow lay out some of those things. I know that you said it would be easier to visualize it and see it when things do go live, but as kind of like I know there's been a lot of questions I've just seen, in Discord or other places, like there seems to be a bit of confusion. So like anything we can do to help clear that up. I was confused and I'm very close to the project. So that's like was my question. And how do we better communicate that moving forward. People that do want to develop and have different payment processes or whatever. But I appreciate the response, and I look forward to seeing everything, actually come to fruition.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the confusing part. I mean, even I'm confused. I was confused. I'm still confused a little bit, exactly the differences. But unless you're a developer, these things wouldn't really be. There's very few subtle differences from what we can envision. But the general idea is that C4 and applications is recreational land. Anything outside of C4, you need a commercial land. There's also instances where you might need multiple, multiple rec lands, but you only need one commercial land. Again, these will be more apparent as we see them, but yeah, hopefully those it's better explained in the near future.
Nope, awesome. I appreciate the responses, and thanks for having me up. I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of the space and see you guys around. So thank you.
Hey, thank you, everybody.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Asung, for coming up. That's outstanding, having all the answers. Well, actually, that's our time, everybody. Psyadam, thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate it. You want to take the opportunity to plug Croc or No Croc one more time? Tell folks how they can become a contestant and when the next one is?
Yeah, the next Croc or No Croc is January 14th, and hope as many people sign up as possible. Sign up. You can go to the Croc or No Croc channel in the Croc Discord, and you'll see there where to send your C4. Each entry is 1,000, and send as many entries as you want. And there's a bonus this time where you can get it's called like a Goomly or
Goom list. It's a whitelist for the Goombles.
Goom list. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I know I want one.
Outstanding. Wonderful. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out with us today, everyone. Really appreciate it. We hope you had a good time. You have a safe and happy week, and we'll see you back here next Tuesday for more Swamp Talk. We'll be talking about that big old saltwater from Australia and that super species veteran stock trade. Next Tuesday.